I have the honor and the privilege, one of our greatest scientists, Sir Anthony Patrick, is going to be joining us today. And he's an academic lab technologist and biochemist. So these are the people in charge of all the technological lab scientific applications, biochemical procedures, and so on and so forth. And apart from being a biochemist, he also doubles as a shoe designer. So that's a wonderful one. So thank you for joining this session today.
Thank you.
We are glad for having you here. So before we start, let's just warm you up. Supposing there's an option for you to choose an animal. What animal would you choose and why?
Okay, I'd like to choose to be a lion.
Okay, why choose?
Yeah, a lion is an animal called silent liberal. Yeah.
Can you say that again?
I called a lion a silent liberal.
Oh, interesting. That's
he doesn't. Yes, he doesn't manifest his work until the result is seen.
Nice.
He doesn't. He's always a background worker. Yeah. You will never get any hints of what he wants to do until when the result is out. Yeah, that one I get
That's great. That's great. So when people ask you what you do, what's the quick answer that you can give to them? When people ask you what you do, what's the quickest answer?
Okay, as in what I do?
Yes.
Okay, for now, I would say I am an academic technologist.
Okay, what does that mean? Academic technologist, what does that mean?
Yeah, okay, I'm a researcher. I'm a researcher in the academic world, and anything that has to do with invention, providing solutions to problems in the society, it's what I'm mostly engaged into.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very interesting.
Anywhere there is a problem, I'm always there to find solution, financially, academically, and otherwise.
That's interesting. So what if we met you like 5 years ago or 10 years ago? What version of you would we have met like 10 years ago?
Yeah, a timid and ignorant things I knew, and now I didn't knew them in the past 10 years. I believe I will have been in a multiple places than where I am now. Okay, what has changed is knowledge. Knowledge changed everything. Knowledge and mindsets. These are the two major rudiments I can hold now tentatively. That is the fuel that has brought me this far. Knowledge and mindsets.
So knowledge and mindset. So if I were to ask, so these two things for you were the turning points, right? But
yes,
did you actually make some changes, or what are the changes that you made to make those two things, or to make those changes really happen? What are the things you did, or what was the turning point for you?
Okay, actually, one of the first things, as I said, knowledge. I had to explore into the studying of biographies of men that are actually working in the place where I want to be. And number two is what actually changes. I developed this buffer mentality of creating my own world, the mentality of seeing good in every negativity. I don't believe there's anything negative. I believe it's only negative in your head, not in the environment, not by sight. No. Okay, my view of seeing possibilities where people don't see it. Yeah, I am not what I am because I have told myself I won't do it.
Interesting. So when you look back now, so when you look back now, are there beliefs or fears that you think that they kind of slowed you down?
Yes. There are a lot of beliefs. One of those beliefs is that I believe, should I say it, riches is actually meant for those that are from rich background. Yes, that's one of my major, that wealth mostly springs from, it's not far-fetched from its mother tree. That was my major belief. And I also believe that your background has 80 to 90% control over what you become. Yeah. Great. And when it comes to business-wise, I believe in business, it's either you cheat or you are cheated.
So those were mindsets. Those were mindsets that you had before, right? That's interesting. So what can you say? What is one thing? And I'm sure you have definitely learned from some of those beliefs or fears that you had, right? So, but what is one? I know, of course, there were some mistakes that you made. So, what is one thing that you learned from all those beliefs, those fears, right? And now currently you still use them today.
Okay. And one of the things I learned is from all those beliefs, whenever they comes, appreciate them first. Yes. If not for those beliefs, I wouldn't have been where I am now. So having the belief that in business, either you cheat or you're cheated, actually was a fuel to make me correct, maybe for adventure, if there is a temptation for me to cheat. So that belief will tell me that you once hold this belief, so don't do that. And possibly if someone will cheat me, the knowledge I've gathered over time, I can detect that is how it goes. That's just on a lighter note. Okay. Then the other thing that actually kept me going is the fact that I'm from a military background. Yeah. And I have come to learn one thing from my dad, that you can do all things as long as you can imagine it in your mind.
Awesome piece.
Yeah,
you can see
as
it,
long
you can
as
achieve it.
You can do it. Yes. He taught me that very well. And he also taught me investment mindset.
Nice. So let's talk a little about what you do as a researcher, as a scientist, and biochemist as well. So in your field, is there one particular thing you think that is exaggerated, or it's overhyped in your field? Is there anything like that?
The entire field itself is overhyped when it comes to ambiguity being difficult. Biochemistry is a course that even those in medicine, most of their spill, anybody in medicine that's having a spill, you can trace it to biochemistry. So everybody believes that biochemistry is very hard. Yes. So even my students, I tend to bring every of my points home. I drive them home to simplify it in a way that for them to see that biochemistry is within the environment. It's around them. It's not far-fetched. It's not an abstract quantity. So biochemistry is overhyped. It's a very difficult course. Even when I was going for I actually applied for microbiology. So microbiology was, as in, there were more candidates, so there was no space. For biochemistry, there were only 10 candidates. So the man called me and said, which one would you prefer? Would you want to go biochemistry? I told him, sir, yes. People were there and they have studied it. I'll go and study it. And to God be the glory, I came out with an excellent result. There was no any difficulty in it.
Awesome.
So the course as a whole is too overhyped as a difficult kind of course. Abstract. Okay, that's one of the major things I can put my hand on.
Oh, I see. Thank you. At least I'm sure someone out there who is struggling, maybe want to be an academic researcher or a biochemist or a research scientist. I'm sure this point is going to be encouraging to them as well. Because of course, in our current world, we need a lot of researchers, especially in terms of coming up with new solutions, new inventions, as well as other products that are as a result of your research. So it kind of makes sense. So for someone that is starting at where you once were, like you mentioned, you had the option of going into biology or biochemist or being a researcher. For someone that's starting, step one for them to get to a point where they can call themselves an academic researcher or a scientist or a biochemist.
Okay, one of the first thing I will actually install into such kind of person is develop that belief in yourself. That's the first thing. The foundation of anything you want to venture into is all about yourself. Develop that belief that I can do this. That's the first thing. And the fact that somebody have done it, it means I will still do it.
Great.
Yes, that is just every other factor emanates from this very self-belief. Yes, but chemistry is like every other course. And no course is difficult and no course is simple. It is what you make out of it. Yes, there's nothing I can say more than that.
Okay, we'll see come back to this biochemist. I'm loving this conversation, but let me just go away a little. So I know when I read your profile that you also into shoe designing and as well, right? So how are you able to combine being a scientific researcher and a shoe designer as well? How did the shoe designing thing come into? Was it start like an hobby, or how can you just tell us about
it? Actually, with the level of literatures I have stumbled into when it comes to time management, okay, and becoming an effective individual. Everything revolves time management and how organized you are. 24 hours is never too small in a day. Yes, 24 hours is never. It's all about how did you plan your day. Yeah, give timeline to anything you're doing. As an academic researcher, technology, so to say, it's even more simpler for me to venture into business because in an academic environment, there is break. And even all this strike that people cried about me, I'm also praying for strikes to come. Because whenever these breaks comes on, I have to switch to the other plan. So it's even to my own advantage. So if people are crying and insulting the government for strike, me, I'm even thanking them. Okay, so actually, that's on the lighter note, but the whole thing, the whole management scheme is all about how programmed and organized I am, or I have made myself to be. Yeah, I can double tax. Yeah, from Monday to Tuesday, from Monday to Friday, I can be at work. Weekends, I can go to my shop. Okay, if I don't have class with students, I'm in my shop. If I have class, I'll come to it. I'll come back to school. So awesome. Is that like
awesome? That's very interesting and encouraging to know, because we live in a world where so many people are always complaining. That's what we see every time, always complaining. But in your own case, you turn the situation into an opportunity for yourself, and then you're able to have your business on the side to continue to to continue to scale, and which is very impressive, right? Because apparently that's a very good thing in terms of having that business on the side, and then when things look like it's not going well, you just continue with your business as well. That kind of makes sense. Yeah. That kind of makes sense. So yeah, that's very interesting. I kind of like that part of the business. So let's go back to your biochemist part again. I know for some people it is a buzzword in terms of AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning. There have been so many reports across boards. Some people will say that AI is going to replace some fields, and it's going to take away some jobs. Definitely, it will, right? But in your own case, what's your submission? Do you think your field is being threatened by AI, or do you think in the next 5-10 years there will be no scientific researchers or biochemists, as the case may be?
If I am to be a figurehead representing all biochemists, AI can never be a threat to me. Yeah, if I'm to represent the whole biochemistry in the whole world, AI can never be a threat, because AI is something that is programmed. Yes, it's programmed. Yes, but if actually you are really a researcher by default, there is this touch of creativity which AI will not produce when emergency occurs. So that is where your relevance will click. Yeah, if you're really a researcher, you by default you are creative, you're sensitive, you're inquisitive, very curious. So, and life is dynamic. Yeah, AI is only meant to carry out a function at a given point. But nobody, as I say, life is dynamic. Anything can happen. Yeah, anything can happen when you come to research or you're in the lab carrying out experiments using an AI. The environment may change, and whatever you're produced, either the robots or a machine, things can happen. But with the creativity as a researcher that you are, you can make some manipulations. Yeah, constructive manipulations, which the AI itself cannot produce to substitute you. I just believe this AI of a thing, AI is like a complement. Yes, it's a complement. My own conception is a complement to anything I'll be doing as a researcher, not really the key player. So AI cannot be a threat to me. Yes, it's just to ease work for me. Yes, to make it more easier, to facilitate and to give me hints on directions. Yeah, where to navigate to get the real. So that is my take on AI application in my profession as a researcher.
Oh, that's very great. That's very great to know. So I know definitely across this journey, were there moments that you almost quit, or you felt like giving up, like maybe something is wrong with the journey?
No, I never had any moment like that, because I never had, because I'm this passionate person. Anything I'm doing till I see the end of it. Yeah, the only kind of feelings I might have registered is the feelings of maybe should I say inconsistency in the economy system. Yeah, or government policies, a kind of trying to tilt me to the left to right. That's the only kind. I only know the feelings of not giving me what I want, but it doesn't last. Before you know, I'm out of it. So, but on talking about the thought of giving up professionally as a businessman, no, I've never, and I don't see myself doing that.
Awesome. So that means in one word, that's persistence and consistency.
Yeah. I'm so passionate about it. So I've never lost such kind of thoughts.
Great. So finally, what would you to our listeners? What just give them like a short message. What message will you leave for our listeners?
Okay. I think 8 years back, I stumbled into a book written by Josie Jonas. And the name of the book is What They Won't Teach You in School. I would advise every listener, everybody out there to go and look for that book. That was a book that changed my mindset. And I will still push everybody to go back to that book. Now, there's one thing the author said. The author said the last science is not the invention of cars, ATM machines, aeroplane. See, but the last science, it is the manipulation, emancipation, and enlargement of the human mind. Yeah, it's the mind. Just do all you can to enlarge your mind. And how can you do that? Search for knowledge. The difference between you and I, it is what you know, what I know that you don't know. That's the difference. It's not about your resources. No, knowledge is the key player over everything.
Great.
And secondly, develop this open-mindedness for new things. Yeah, nice. In all your profession, develop this new mindedness for new things. And don't be complacent. In anything you're doing, don't be complacent.
Great.
So these are just the 3 things I'll give to my listener out there to hold on to.
That's awesome.
But these are things that I brought it up for.
Great. All right. Thank you, everyone who joined the call. Thank you also for Sir Anthony Patrick here. He's an academic researcher and a scientist. He's also a shoe designer as a business person on the side. Thank you for this opportunity for joining this session. And we look forward to more time to talk with you in the future.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a privilege. I appreciate the opportunity and the privilege to to air my voice to the world on aspects that will improve humanity.
Yes.